local all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
And first at 6, a weather watch alert for a major rain and wind event here in southern New England.
Our entire workforce is on standby to respond and support power restoration should need be.
Utilities working overtime to make sure they're in place to respond to any outages from the storm.
And 'tis the season for holiday travel. Here's a live look at Bradley International Airport. We're going to get a closer look at how things are going there ahead.
Good morning, sunshine. First at 6, we begin with a weather alert for a big rain and windstorm heading our way. Thank you for joining us on this Friday Eve. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Boy, yeah, for more on all the timing and what we can expect, a lot to talk about. Want to get over to meteorologist Sam Sampiri because we were sort of framing this the past couple of days as problems with travel, not because of so much what we're getting here, but elsewhere. But now we've got a lot of wind potential power outages to talk about.
That's right. And it's really the height of the storm is tonight and tomorrow morning about this time. We're going to be waking up with all kinds of wind gusts of 50, 60 miles per hour and also some power outages. This is one heck of a storm that's really starting to get its act together. It's basically two systems. We got the primary low up here with a front. That's the polar jet stream. And the secondary low. This is the one that really is going to give us the copious amounts of moisture, low pressure developing there as well. But the track of the low is going to mostly go to our west. Therefore, it's going to be mostly rain. But at the beginning, you can see the snow and sleet breaking out just to the north and west of the metro Baltimore, Washington area, moving up through Maryland and southern Pennsylvania. But that will also quickly change over the rain. Weather watch alert for periods of moderate to heavy rain starting this afternoon, mid to late afternoon, going through tomorrow morning. And then that Arctic front comes in. How much? 1.5 to 3 inches of rain, 45 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts, travel issues, scattered to moderate power outages in parts of the state, especially eastern Connecticut with the strongest winds. And of course, we'll have moderate coastal flooding going on. The latest advisories and warnings, there's a new one. We have a flood watch for all Litchfield County and also a winter weather advisory just to the north across Berkshires and the Massachusetts. So we'll watch that. We could get a little snow in northwestern Connecticut. Here's the wind advisory. Here's the coastal flood warning for tomorrow morning, also due to high tide coming in at the worst time tomorrow morning. There's the data. Right here for moderate flooding potential. Right now we have temperatures in the 20s across the area. No problems with the wind right now. And so we increase the clouds. And then by this afternoon, we're going to look for a little bit of rain and a mix in northern Connecticut by 4 or 5 o'clock. It takes a while to moisten the atmosphere. And then that rain really starts to pick up steadier and heavier as we head overnight and into tomorrow morning. Coming up, I will detail how much you gets the most and what you can expect as we head towards Christmas Eve and Christmas Day weekend. Guys?
Nice, Sam. Thank you. All right, let's continue our live team coverage right now with Fox 61's Brooke Griffin.
Yeah, she's checking on how utilities across the state are preparing for this big storm. She's live in the capital city this morning. Good morning, Brooke.
Well, good morning to you both. Eversource tells us with this large storm moving in, they actually had to compete with other power crews in other states to even bring in those extra standby crews to have just here in Connecticut throughout the weekend. Eversource says they've declared a level 5 alert, and that means it's going to go into effect at noon tomorrow. It's their lowest alert, and they say they are expecting up to 125,000 customers to lose power. Now, again, it is their lowest alert they can issue, but it doesn't mean it's not being taken seriously. They're treating it more as a level 4 alert. This storm isn't going to be a winter event for us, just rain and a lot of wind for New England. Up to 3 inches of rain is expected for some parts of Connecticut, meaning the ground will be saturated, paving the way for trees to easily come down in those expected high winds. Eversource leaders tell us they expect roughly 10% of their customers to lose power for at least a few hours, if not, unfortunately, for a couple of days. They say they're getting ahead of the storm by bringing in power crews from all over the country to be on standby around the clock. They say they've brought them in from Canada and even from Texas as well. They will have 300 power line crews, 100 blocked road crews, and 200 additional crews for underground repairs and damage assessments. They say those crews will be spread out and ready to be dispatched as needed. One West Hartford man says he and his family are ready as possible for this storm to hit.
It makes me worry. I got a home and I got kids in the house. So we'll be ready. I think I'll have my generator just in case the leg goes out, but we'll prepare for it.
And United Illuminating is also expecting outages. They say their shoreline customers could experience that as well. Up to 17,000 customers even may end up without power for a couple of days. And both companies are saying have a gear bag ready, have those flashlights handy, know where the batteries are for them, pack a few snacks, and be ready to unfortunately have a few power issues throughout the Christmas weekend. Live in Hartford, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61 News.
Okay, Brooke, thank you. And of course, don't forget about United Illuminating. They said they are ready and they've got teams in place to respond. In a statement, UI's president said, quote, storms never come at a convenient time, and this storm is no different heading into the holiday weekend. But UI's employees are answering the call to service and are focused and committed on ensuring we are fully mobilized and prepared to respond to these storm conditions, with the safety and security of our customers being the highest priority. And again, they're estimating maybe about 17,000 UI customers could be without power at some point. So as we watch this approaching storm, make sure to download the free Fox 61 News app, especially because of this power outage threat now. Remember, you can turn on alerts to get notified whenever a big storm is heading our way.
All right, 6:06. Let's take a look at how the morning commute is shaping up on this Friday Eve. Now, we are following several crashes. If we can take a look at the map here, guys. First up, I want to let you guys know about a crash that is happening in Farmington. So this is on I-84 East between exits 39 and 39A. This is a one vehicle crash that may be causing a little bit of a delay out there. Also, there's another crash, this time in Marlboro, a tractor trailer fire. This is happening on Route 2 West between exits 11 and 13. So this will probably cause a backup in that area as crews first have to get the fire out, put out that fire rather, and then probably clean up whatever's left on the roads out there. So if you're heading in that direction, you may want to find an alternate route. Of course, we'll be keeping our eyes on the skies and on the roads for you this morning. We'll have another update in about 30 minutes. And everything, taking a live look out here in Plainville this morning. Otherwise, things looking good on I-84 West as the traffic volume is starting to increase in the 6 o'clock hour. People hitting the roads for the holiday travel. And we are taking a quick look out at Bradley International this morning, where the holiday travel rush continues. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of folks out there.
And just looking at arrivals and departures while you're speaking, it looks like all departing flights doing okay. A couple delayed arrivals, seeing one from Atlanta, maybe an hour and a half, one from Las Vegas. That's going to be actually coming in, it looks like, a little early, and then maybe one from Orlando today. No big shakes at this point.
So
Nothing
far.
huge. Yes.
Speaking of Atlanta, I saw a crazy picture yesterday of a long line out like near the drop-off area for people to get into the airport to leave.
And that's the busiest airport on earth.
Yeah.
Hartsfield-Jackson. Wow.
Well, we have a couple of reminders for you this morning. If you are heading out to the airport today or just any time this week, remember to be patient because, with the storm can come more flight delays and cancellations. Now, the TSA, they want to remind you guys to get to the airport early since they are expecting travel volumes to be close to pre-pandemic levels. Know what you can and can't bring with you in your carry-on luggage. So don't be that person that's holding the line up because you packed something that shouldn't have been in your carry-on. All right, now empty your pockets. Before arriving at the checkpoint, you might want to consider putting your items inside your carry-on since it has to go through the scanner anyway. And they also ask you to be nice, you guys. Offer some grace to the TSA officers, gate agents, and airline attendants. They are also dealing with a lot this holiday season.
Yeah.
Well, ahead at 6:30, we'll share what led up to this video. Have you seen this?
Yep.
Yeah, of an airline passenger creating quite a scene, to say the least, inside one airport. It's an example of what not to do this holiday season.
Yeah, you don't want to be losing your cool in an airport, especially, all right? There's no fly lists that you don't want to be on. All right, 6:09, we do have a breaking news update. One woman died in a head-on crash that involved a state trooper. State police said 33-year-old Lindsay Bidwell of Wyndham died after hitting Craig Bresniak's pickup truck head-on. They said it happened just after 5:30 last night on Route 6 in Chaplin. They said Bidwell lost control of her car going around a curve, and during the impact, she wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Now, we have confirmed that Bresniak is a state trooper. He was wearing a seatbelt, and state police said he had minor injuries. In New Haven, police are investigating after a school bus was grazed by a bullet. Police responded to reports of gunfire on Lamberton Street near Kimberly Avenue just before 3 yesterday afternoon. The school bus was on Lamberton when it's believed a ricocheted bullet hit the bus's side. 4 students were on the bus. None of them were hurt.
Developing out of West Hartford, where for the second time in just 24 hours, a pedestrian was hit by a vehicle. Police say this happened on Mohegan Road just after 5 last night. We're told the person hit is in critical condition at a local hospital. Police say they have not given any details, on who the victim is, but they say this incident may have been a work-related injury and OSHA was called. The driver did stay on the scene and they are cooperating. Now, again, that crash happening less than a day after 89-year-old Eugenia Yurovsky was hit and killed in West Hartford near Boulevard and Whiting Lane. Now, the person who hit Yurovsky fled the scene, and this morning police are still searching for the suspect in that case. Police believe a white sedan was involved. They're asking anyone with information or maybe video cameras in that area to give them a call.